Greetings, mighty companions. Oh, I just see that I need to turn my Bluetooth on. Right. You're already trying to defend. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the Practical and Healing Applications of A Course in Miracles with me, Anna Rebecca Quinn. And as you can see, I am doing my Monday classes online for the winter. And I will return back to in-person classes at the Miracle Center sometime in spring when we thaw out. I don't know when that's going to be yet, but we'll be finding out. So I already did the random number generator prayer to see what Spirit would have us to hear tonight. And as always, it was spooky, weird answer to something that Greg and I had been talking about and both experiencing. Total, profound, spooky answer to what I'm experiencing and what Greg is also.
Just a coincidence.
But that's just a coincidence. That happens sometimes when you put Spirit in charge of what and where you read in A Course in Miracles. So that is one of the spooky side effects. So the section, first I put in the 3 books into the random number generator, and it pulled up the workbook. I mean, not the workbook, the teacher's manual. And then I put the number of sections with the teacher's manual in the random number generator, and it picked "Is Healing Certain" in the teacher's manual. So, and for the most part, everything that's in the original dictation is also in the Foundation for Inner Peace blue covered edition as well. So we're talking about what I got from this, just to give you an overview before we begin, is that this is for all you teachers. This is for all you people who have, what'd you say?
For all the healers.
Yes, for all the healers, all the light workers, all the teachers, all those folks. You know who you are. You probably wouldn't be watching if you're not one of them. All you who have decided that you wanted to take your part in the healing of humanity, whatever part that is, you decided you wanted to take your part. You decided that you wanted your function to be being helpful to others instead of trying to get from them or control them. So this is for all you healers, teachers, light workers who have been very diligently giving your healing gifts, giving your helpful gifts of love to help people, to be helpful to others, and sometimes have felt disappointed when the gifts that you have given to others, when you have given your gifts to others, as you're being instructed to do, that it appeared that the gift that you offered, your gift that you offered, was not appreciated. It was seen as a curse instead of a blessing. Have you ever given somebody a loving gift and they saw it as a curse instead of a blessing? Yes, a lot of times. A lot of times. And I have experienced great disappointment in that. Is there something wrong with my gift? Is there something wrong with the way I gave it? Maybe I shouldn't give my gifts because I gave my gift to this person or these people and they didn't want it. They saw it as a curse instead of a blessing, and so they rejected it.
Or I've been doing this, whatever, healing ministry, and nothing seems to be happening.
Thank you. Also, I've been doing this healing ministry, and it seems like nothing is happening. I am giving my gifts that make me happy to give, and it appears that not only did people not appreciate it, but many of them saw it as a curse instead of the blessing that I was intending it to be. And this section talks about how this happens to all the teachers and healers. This is something that all teachers and healers experience. This is a lesson and a stage of learning that all teachers and healers go through, where they have been giving their gifts and it doesn't appear that they are being appreciated, wanted, and sometimes even responded to as if they had received a curse instead of a blessing. We've all experienced it, and we're all tempted to feel disappointed when we've given our gift and it doesn't appear to be appreciated. And this speaks to us, like, what you need to remember about giving your gifts. And here's a way to give your gifts that you were born to give, which is what you're supposed to be doing here. Here's a way to give them that is really giving them. Here's a way to give them that guarantees that you will only gain from the giving of it, no matter what their response. And it's also guaranteed that the one you gave it to will accept it for themselves when they no longer see your gift as a curse, but they appreciate that it was a gift, it was a blessing. So many of the gifts that we give to others, when we give our gifts to others, they don't recognize them. They don't recognize them as a blessing, or they just don't recognize them. Now, we need to learn how to not take that personal and to stop giving our gifts because we're afraid that people won't appreciate them or want them or desire them. Okay? We need to learn how to not take it personal, how to not judge how they are using the gifts that we have given them, so that we can keep giving them. Because if we keep misinterpreting how and when they are accepting our gifts, taking it personal and being disappointed, then we will be limiting the gifts that we are giving to others, our gifts that we were given to give. All the gifts that you have, whatever they are, they were given you to give. Now, we limit the gift that we give by being concerned about the effect of our gift on others, when this section is teaching us how not to do that, how to remember the truth about the gift you're giving so that you cannot limit the gift you're giving, so that you can only gain. Does that sound good? Does that sound practical, all you teachers of God, all you miracle workers out there?
Yeah.
Every single one of you, I know you are. I know you are. Sophia, I know you are. She says, how to give with true love. Exactly. How to give a real gift. How to give a real gift, you know. We all want to give gifts, and we all want to give our gifts. We all have gifts to give. We've all been gifted by our Creator with storehouse of treasures and miraculous abilities. We've all been entrusted with a lot of gifts, to so many gifts that would fill up a storehouse. Okay? But we are not going to give our gifts freely if we are concerned about the effects of our gift on others, and concerned or feel disappointed when other people don't recognize them as the gift that they are, and possibly reject it. So I can experience all the gifts that I've been entrusted to if I will just give the gifts I've been entrusted with without concern, without fear, without self-consciousness about how my gifts are received. All right. I know you know what I'm talking about. So we are in the teacher's manual in question number 6. Is healing certain? And Greg, if you're on, will you post that?
Okay.
Thanks, baby. Hi, Sophia. Sophia says, seem to need a lot of help. Not afraid to ask for help, but do feel disappointed at times. Yes, thank you for sharing that. We all do. All of us who have decided that we want to be helpful to the world. All of us who've said, yes, I want to help humanity wake up. I want to be helpful to other people. All of us have felt disappointed when we offered gifts to others and they did not recognize them as gifts, but saw them as a curse and rejected them. We've all felt that feeling. And we've all been limiting the gifts that we were given to give. And as we limit the gifts that we were born to give, so that limits our appreciation of ourselves and our awareness of our real truth and beauty and value. All right. Thank you, Greg, for posting that. Hi, Bridget. Lovely to see you. Okay, so Teacher's Manual, question number 6. Is healing certain? Okay, so remember, this is being addressed to us, the teachers of God, the healers, the light workers, all the helpers who are actively giving gifts to others to be helpful and receiving a varying response from others. Okay? This is for us as teachers of this. This is for us as teachers of love who are still learning how to be better and better teachers of love. How we are learning how to give our gifts better and better and better, where we're actually really giving. Okay, that's what we're learning how to do as teachers of God, as teachers of love. I love it. Irene says, even if someone makes you bad and wrong is a gift. It's a gift so you can see it as a call for love and to be mindful. Yes, amen to that. Teach it, Irene. So let's talk about that. What happens when you're offering your gifts to somebody? You know, here's my gift to you. Here's my gift of love. And they're like, you know, they don't appreciate it. They don't want it. They reject it. You know, they definitely don't see it as a blessing, and they possibly see it as a curse. Okay. Now, let's talk about when that happens and what to remember when that happens, so that we can continue to give our gifts as we love to do, and to not sabotage or limit our gifts or the reward to us, the giver. Is healing certain? Healing is always certain. What is healing is when you are offering a gift of love. That's what that's what healing is. When you are offering love instead of fear, in whatever form you give it. Maybe you give it in art, maybe you give it in words, maybe you give it in loving acts. Maybe you give it with your correctly perceiving someone. But whenever you have made an effort to be loving, to offer love, that is certain. That healing that you offered is certain. There's no question about whether it will accomplish what its intention was intended to do, which is loving, healing. So I wanted to do a healing. That was my intention, to be healing. Well, it happened. It's certain. Okay? Always. Now, it's impossible to let illusions be brought to truth and keep the illusions. It is impossible for you to bring what is not true to truth and then actually keep that illusion. So what is an illusion? An illusion is the opposite of health and happiness. So anytime you've attempted to offer love, you were offering in healing, and it worked. Because it's impossible to let dis-eases be brought to truth and keep the dis-eases. That's why healing is always certain. If you are bringing the dis-ease to the truth, it's impossible that you keep that dis-ease. Truth demonstrates that dis-eases have no value. When you experience the truth, you realize that dis-ease has no value. When you've experienced the truth one time, you see that suffering with dis-eases is no value at all. I've experienced the truth. Now suffering has no value to me. When you perceive, what does it say? Truth demonstrates that diseases have no value. Diseases cannot stay when you bring diseases, illusions, to the truth. Wow. Good to know. The teacher of God, that's you, that's me, has seen the correction of our errors. We, the teachers of God, have seen the correction of our errors in the minds of the people that the universe has sent us. What the Course calls our patients or our pupils. Whoever the universe has sent to you, according to A Course in Miracles, is your patient or your pupil. The teacher of God has seen the correction of my errors, our errors, in the mind of the people who've been sent to us by the universe. Because we recognize in their healing the correction of our errors. That's what the teachers of God see in the healing of the mind of the people that the universe sends us, which is anybody in your life, by the way. Excuse me, I'm getting over a little cold here. Beautiful. And I'm going to read to you Robert Perry's note. I really like it. It, in this sentence, probably refers to the mind of the patient rather than to correction. The comment that the teacher of God has seen, quote, most likely refers to the previous subsection, which describes God's teachers as healing by reaching out to the truth in the minds of their brothers and sisters and seeing no one's will as separate from their own. This is another way of saying that we, the teachers of God, heal by recognizing in others' mind for what it is. We heal by recognizing other people's minds for what it is. The logic in the above sentence would therefore mean that since the teacher of God no longer sees their own errors in the patient's mind, the teacher can now see that mind for what it really is. All right, so I'll read that again. We, the teachers of God, the healers, the light workers, see the correction of other people's errors in their mind. And we recognize that the correction of the errors in their mind is also the correction of the errors in our mind. That's why we need our patients and our pupils. That's why we need all the people that the universe has sent to us. Because as we see the correction that happens from love in their minds, from what? From our gifts of love, that is what is the correction of the errors in our own mind. As I see the love that comes through me correcting the errors in their mind, then the errors in my mind are corrected by love. The love I gave. Excuse me. Teachers of God, when you accept the truth for yourself, you have also accepted the truth, the undoing of your errors for those the universe has sent you. I'll say it again. Having accepted the truth for yourself and accepted the healing, then you have also accepted the truth and the healing for those the universe has sent you. Okay. Excuse me, y'all. My ego does not want me to say this. I see your ego. You are invisible, ego, but I see ya. Just like God. God is invisible, Spirit's invisible, but you can see its effects. Okay. And I can see the ego's effects, even though I can't see the ego. Why? Because the ego is an idea. And ideas are invisible. So, this is what we are being reminded about, us as teachers and healers and light workers, those who have said, I will take my part in the healing of humanity. So this is the way it goes. When you accept the truth when you accept the correction of the errors in your own mind, when you accept the healing of the errors in your own mind, then you've also automatically accepted it for others. Who? The people the universe has sent you. Now, so they are sent to you for you to give them your gifts to help correct the errors in their mind. That's your function as a healer. And when you accept the healing of the errors in your mind, you automatically are going to share that and radiate that with others and see the correction of their errors in their own mind for them. That's how healing works. That's how you are a healer, and that's how you heal. Okay, great. So, but, here's the big but. What if the person that you were offering healing to uses sickness as a way of life? So yes, you've accepted your purpose of being a healing agent wherever you go, whomever the Holy Spirit of healing sends you. Okay, and so that's what you do. And you can't help but do that as you're accepting the healing and correction of the errors in your own mind. And so what happens if the universe sends you somebody and you are offering to them the healing, the remembrance that healing is possible, but they are someone who is using their sickness or their dis-ease, body, mind, or spirit, as a way of life. What if this person that you're offering healing ideas to believes that healing their dis-ease is a way to death? What if? So, what if the person that you're offering these healing ideas or this healing love to, what if they are using their sickness, their dis-ease, as a way of life? What if they believe that without their dis-ease that they would die, or at the very least be alone? Okay, so there are lots of people. Our world is filled with them, and they are us. People like us sometimes, less and less as we advance in our curriculum, in our profession as teachers and healers, less and less. But a lot of people in the world believe that their sickness is protecting them, that their dis-ease, body, mind, or spirit, is protecting them from being alone or being abandoned. So many of us have, and maybe are now, believe that if the people in our lives didn't feel guilty and responsible for our happiness, that they wouldn't feel guilty, and then they would move along. They would do something else. They would choose not to be with us, and that if they didn't feel responsible for our happiness, if they didn't feel guilty about us being sick, if they knew that we were just rocking it, awesome, healthy and happy and abundant and sane, then they wouldn't feel guilty if they decided they wanted to go do something else besides us. And so, and having that belief, now I'm going to believe that my dis-ease, which is making sure that they stay with me even if they don't want to, now I see that the loss of that dis-ease would be the loss of companionship. It would be abandonment, in other words, death. And so when somebody is using their sickness as a way of life, believing that that sickness keeps them safe from the worst death of all, being alone, then that person is going to see your offer of healing of their dis-ease possibly as a curse. First, they like, oh, you're trying to heal me of my sickness. Then you are making me vulnerable to being abandoned and being alone, the worst death there is. So, and then the question is, okay, and then it says, where this is happening, where the person that you're offering healing ideas to is somebody who's been using their sickness as a way of life and sees the loss of their dis-ease as death, says, where this is so, a sudden healing of that person who's been using sickness as a way of life may precipitate intense depression for that person. And what is intense depression? A sense of loss so deep that that person may even try to destroy themselves. Woo! Boy, this is good to know. This is like Teacher of God 101. Teacher of God 101. Absolutely. Because there's a lot of folks like that who are, I mean, even all of us to a certain extent. Of course, in Miracle says that all of our suffering has that we wouldn't keep hold of any suffering if we didn't believe that it enabled us to use it to instill guilt in others. I mean, I know. That's what the Course says. Even I'm like, oh my God, you sure every bit of suffering? You sure about that, Course in Miracles? You know, because, you know, I still got a lot of my aches and pains for sure. And so, of course, my ego is like, no, that's not true. So we're all doing it. But teachers of God are people who have decided that they wanted to heal that belief, that they don't want that belief anymore. They don't want the belief that unless they are sick and unconsciously, silently producing guilt in others, that they will be alone. We don't want that belief. We don't, and we're hearing here that it's not true. It's absolutely not true. That if you are happy and healthy and whole and abundant and loving yourself and loving your life, that nobody would feel guilty enough to have to stay with you. That's not a truth, but it's a belief that we have been programmed to believe. You know, we've all been taught how you are yourself, just being yourself is 100% perfect and lovable, you know, for the people for whom you're meant for. No, none of us were taught that. So, so in some folks that the universe sends you, you will be offering healing ideas that could heal their dis-ease, body, mind, and spirit. But they will respond to you as if you had cursed them because they think you're threatening their way of life, their way of being safe. And they will respond to you as if you had cursed them. And you will be confused and disappointed. And you need to know what to remember when that happens so that you won't stop giving your gifts. Okay. All right. Everybody know what I'm talking about? I love it. Sophia says, am I a professional victim even though I teach radical responsibility? No. If you're teaching radical responsibility, then you're no longer a professional victim. You may be an amateur, but you are no longer a professional victim, Sophia. And that's a great question. And Sophia says, I still get angry at the professional victims. So does that mean I'm not ready to wake up? No, it just means that you're limiting your awakening. It means you're limiting your gifts. That's all. What we're all doing. We're delaying the giving of our gifts. That's all we're doing when we get angry with those that do not appreciate the gifts that we're offering. Okay, that's all we're doing. We're just delaying the reward that always comes, always, no questions about it, the rewards that always come when you are giving a gift of love or receiving one. So you're just delaying that awareness. You can't give a gift of love, a gift of healing, and not experience the reward, and neither can they. Okay, let's read on and see how that's possible. So it was saying that when this occurs, that you're offering healing to somebody who's been using sickness as a way of life, with this person, a sudden healing may precipitate intense depression and a sense of loss so deep in that person that they may even try to destroy themselves. Why? Because having nothing to live for, now that their sickness has been healed, having nothing to live for, that person may ask for death. Wow. You need to know this, teachers of God. You need to know. This is very, very, very important to know when about the gifts that you are offering, the healing gifts you are offering to others. Okay. Now that you are in the healing profession. So, Sophia, you're in the healing profession now, and you maybe have a trace of the old programming called I need to be a victim, I need to be sick so that I will not be abandoned. Okay. So you're a professional healer, but you are still have a little bit of old programming that you're still allowing the truth to deprogram. Okay. Thank you, Bridget. Bridget says she can relate. Beautiful. Sophia says, delaying my reward. Arg. Diana says, yep. All right. Okay.
And sickness, remembering, is also a wrong thought.
Yes, exactly. It's a dis-ease, body, mind, or spirit, and a wrong thought.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth.
Yes.
It's too disturbing.
Exactly. It's
I didn't want to have my truth taken away for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Greg was saying that, that he remembers when he didn't want his truth taken away from him, when somebody was offering him something that was different than what they were thinking. When somebody offered him an idea that was healing, but it was different from what he was thinking, that he didn't always appreciate that because he wanted to keep his thought. Did I hear that right, sweetie?
Yeah.
Okay.
But when I was ready to receive it,
right,
the gift was there, and
thank you.
I was healed.
Beautiful.
And gratitude burst forth.
Beautiful. And Greg said, but when he was ready for that healing thought, that it was still there waiting for him, and it released him. It released him. He accepted it, and he got the benefit of that gift that was given him, that he delayed the acceptance of. Beautiful. Thank you, Sophia. All right, so for those folks that the universe is sending you, that you're going to be offering your healing, loving gifts to, but they are using sickness as a way of life, and so they perceive that if they were to experience that healing of their dis-ease, that they would die. It says healing must wait for that person's protection. So in other words, healing needs to wait for them. In other words, them accepting, them hearing and receiving your loving ideas, your healing ideas, that must wait for their protection. Because what do you mean that person's healing must wait for their protection? Well, in this person, if they were healed of their dis-ease, their way of life, and having nothing left to live for, they would try to kill them, even try to destroy themselves, then the truth needs to wait until that person would no longer want to kill themselves without that dis-ease. Okay? In other words, that person's healing needs to wait. There are some folks that are being sent to you whose healing needs to wait. And so you don't want to be somebody who's like pushing. You need to accept this healing for yourself. You need to accept the truth that you are totally responsible for your experience. Okay? That is not recognizing that their healing needs to wait until they are more safe, until they have more awareness, so that that they have more awareness. Okay, let me plug this in. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. Good to remember, because you need to know that so that you can be a wise and gentle and effective healer. This is how to be a wise, gentle, and effective healer, and to understand where the person that has been sent to you, where they're at relative to their dis-ease. A lot of people say they want their dis-ease healed, but when you offer them, when ideas that are truly healing for their disease are presented to them, they reject them. They feel threatened by them. And now we know why. Now we know why.
It doesn't validate their story.
Exactly. It's making them feel more vulnerable to being abandoned. And so, and then what you need to say when you have offered healing to somebody and they have been using their sickness as a way of life, and they see what you're offering them as a curse, not a blessing, then you yourself must remember, oh, healing must wait. Healing must wait. Be patient. Healing must wait for their own protection. Okay, great. Now, instead of being like, I'm telling you the truth, and you, even though you really need it, don't seem to appreciate what I'm saying. Okay, we don't want to be like that. That is not being an effective and gentle teacher or healer. All right. Healing will always stand aside when healing would be seen as threat. Because healing's loving. So healing's like, yeah, no, they would see that as a curse right now, as a threat. So I'll just wait. And healing is infinite in its patience. So healing will always wait when the healing would be seen as threat. How about we say that for us? I will always stand aside whenever I would be seen as a threat. I will stand aside whenever my love and truth is seen as a threat. That's being an effective and gentle teacher of truth for the people that the universe is sending you. And the instant that the healing that you've been offering is welcome, then the instant that healing is there for them. You can't offer a healing thought, a loving thought, and it not accomplish a healing in that person when they are ready, when the gift you're offering them is welcomed. I love that. So you can't give a gift that doesn't produce healing in that person, ever. You know, it may not be, you know, when you thought it should happen, like right then and there with total adulation. But like the Course says that all loving efforts are maximal. All expressions of love are maximal. In other words, all healing expressions are maximal. If you've offered healing to somebody, a loving and healing intention to somebody, it's maximal, which means it will be accepted. It's not an if. It's a certainty it will be accepted in them when they are ready, when they welcome it, okay? When they want it, when they go, I do want that truth. I do want that peace and that health that you're reminding me is possible for me. Yes, I do want that. And I want that more than I want what I think that being sick can get me. And then the healing that you offered them will be right there for them, absolutely, just right there. Not even skip a beat. Okay. So wonderful to know. So helpful for us as teachers and healers. And this is because where healing has been given, healing will be received. Wherever you gave that healing, that gift of love, it will be received. Wherever you give it, it is received. Just not in the timing and in the form that you thought it should be accepted in. You who know everything. And what is time before the gifts of God? So it's inevitable that the gift of love you gave is going to be accepted by that person. Okay, in time. But what is time before the gifts of God? Okay? The gifts of God, they don't have a timeout. You know, they don't have an expiration date. When you offer a gift of love, it doesn't have an expiration date on it. It's like, oh, well, you didn't receive it for 20 years, so whatever. Now it's null and void. No, the gifts of love that you give, wherever you have given a gift of love, it will be received eventually. But what is time before the gifts of God, the gifts of love, a gift that is eternal because it is loving? Then it says, we have referred many times in the text to the storehouse of treasures laid up equally for the giver and the receiver of God's gifts. We have? Why don't I remember that? That's why I have to remind you, Anna, because obviously you didn't remember what we have referred to many times in the text as to the storehouse of treasures laid up equally for the giver and the receiver of God's gifts. So whenever you are giving a gift of love, it is going into a storehouse of treasures that's being laid up for you and all that you meet. Okay? The storehouse of treasure is being laid up equally for the giver and the receiver of the gifts of love. Wow. So every time you give a gift of love, there are more treasures that are being stored up for you. And every time you accept a gift of love, treasures are being stored up for you in the storehouse of treasures. Okay, let me just get that straight here, because I do love the idea of treasures. You really know how to get our attention. Treasures, yes. What comes to you as the result of offering healing, offering loving thoughts to you, literally are the only treasures that are real treasures here or anywhere. Okay, that's your treasures. Where you gave love, where you offered healing, that is your real treasures. That is what your real treasures are. And there's a big old storehouse where they're all being laid up for you. You who give the gifts of love and you who receive the gifts of love. Man, that seems like almost too good to be true. How could that be true? As a matter of fact, not only is there a storehouse of treasure being laid up for you who give healing, loving thoughts to others, but not one single treasure from a gift of love you've given is lost. You've never given a gift of love that was lost. Like, oh, I gave all that love for 20 years and it was all lost. I wasted all that love that I gave them, all those gifts of love I gave them. I've lost them because I gave it to them. He said, no. Every time you give a gift of love, a gift of healing, you have stored up a treasure in a treasure house for yourself. And so no gift of love, no healing offering is ever lost. It's not like, oh, well, that was wasted. I wish I hadn't given a gift of love over there because that gift of love is never coming back to me. That's a gift of love I'll never get back. It's not like that. No treasure that comes to you as a result of offering love is lost. Anytime you offered love, all loving expressions are maximal. Every time you have offered love, it has been successful. It has been successful. It will be received where it was given. And that's all you need to know. And not one gift of love you gave is lost. Not one. Because the gifts of love you give only can increase. All they can do is increase. Gifts of love, all they can do is increase. Gifts of love cannot decrease. Gifts of love can only increase. So every gift of love you've given is a gift that can only increase. That's what's happening with that gift you gave, in case you were wondering. It's like, what are they doing with that gift? Are they using the truth I gave them to make themselves happy? I spent 20 minutes on the phone with that person, and they did not appreciate that. They did not use it for their healing. Okay. Now, so not one of the treasures of the gifts of love that you have given, not one is lost, because the gifts of love you offer, your treasures, they can only increase. That's why no teacher of love, no teacher of truth, no light worker, no miracle worker, no helper, no teacher of love should feel disappointed if you have offered healing and it does not appear to have been received. All right. So what is it? What was the instruction you just gave me of what to do when that happens? That happens a lot. What do I do? Don't be disappointed. Don't be disappointed. That's what you should do. What you should do is don't be disappointed when you have what? If you have offered healing to another and it doesn't appear to have been received by that person. Do not feel disappointed. Why? Why should I not feel disappointed? I gave them a whole hour of trying to offer healing to them. Okay. Why should I not be disappointed? Because teachers of God, teachers of love, healers, light workers, miracle workers, because it is not up to you to judge when your gift should be accepted. It's not up to you to decide when your gift of love and healing should be accepted by them. That's not up to you. Okay, well, what should I do? I gotta do something, right? Yes, here's what you should do. Just be certain that the gift of healing that you offered has been received. And what's the other thing to do? Trust that the gift of healing that you offer to them will be accepted when your healing gift is recognized as a blessing and not a curse. So it's not a if your healing gift will be accepted and received by them. It's when. It's not a if, it's a when. And that when is not up to you to decide, to judge when they should accept the healing gift that you offered them. Whew. All right. Okay. I see where I've been making errors as a teacher of love. I can see where I have been limiting the gifts of healing that I've been offering by being disappointed when it looked like the person I gave it to did not want to accept it at the time and was even seeing it as a curse instead of a blessing. It says, it is not our function, teachers of God, healers, light workers, miracle workers, it is not our function to evaluate the outcome of our healing gifts. That's not our job. That's not our function to go, well, let's see, what is the stats on the healing gift that I offered that person? Did they receive it? Did they accept it? Or are they using that gift to give themselves their most fabulous life? It is not up to us to evaluate the outcome of the healing gifts that we are offering them. Whatever your gift is, whether your gift is, like for me, I'm working on giving a gift to the world as a book, and this is telling me that if I'm offering my book as an offering of healing, a loving and healing thought to others for the purpose of offering healing ideas, then that's my only job, is just to give it. It's not my job to evaluate the outcome of the book, for instance, that I will be giving to the world. That's not my job. That's not my function. Now, and if I take that function on that's not mine, and I start evaluating the outcome of the book that I gave, that just happens to be the form of my gift of healing that I'm offering, then I'm going to limit the gift of the book that I am offering as a healing offering. I'm going to limit my offering. I'm going to be limiting my gift. And so it is merely our function to give the gifts. That's it. That's our only part. To give the gifts of healing. How is it that you love to offer loving thoughts to people? That's your gifts. That's your gifts that it is your function to give. Whatever it is that when you give it, it makes you so happy to give it. And when you give it, you're giving it as the most precious gift of love to others that you could give. Okay? That's your function, is to give those gifts, to give your gifts. Everybody has been given gifts. Why? Because the Creator has given to all of its creations a storehouse of gifts to give. The Creator has gifted all of its creations equally and fully. So everyone is gifted. Everyone is being given gifts and has been given gifts, and everyone has a storehouse of treasures that have been laid up for them, waiting for them when they can see those treasures as a blessing and not a curse. So it's not like, oh, well, I don't have any gifts to give. A gift here is a loving thought. A healing thought. A healing thought is a loving thought. Sometimes those thoughts take forms like things, but in essence, the gifts that we have to give are loving thoughts, loving ideas. Okay? Sometimes they take form, sometimes they don't. But it's impossible that you don't have gifts to give, that you don't have loving thoughts to offer to others, to be helpful to them. It's not possible that you are unable to desire to be helpful to them. That's what it means to offer them a gift of healing and a gift of love, is having a desire to be helpful to them. Okay? To be helpful to them. So remember, it is not your function to evaluate the outcome of the gifts you are giving. Remember that. Your function is merely to give these gifts to others. These gifts of love, however they come through you, your only job is to give them. That's it. Just to give them. That's it. Not to evaluate the outcome and to do the stats on how many people actually received them and appreciated them. That's not your job. It's just to give it, give it, give it. So in the example of this book, My job is just to give it and to not be concerned or disappointed, to not be concerned about the outcome of me sharing my book with the world. That's not my function. My function, according to this, is just to give it. Okay? Whatever that loving expression is. Okay? It's different for everybody. Now, once we have given our gifts of love and healing, once we have given them, we have also given the outcome. So as soon as you offer that gift of love, that gift of healing, you've also given the outcome. It's as good as done. You just don't know when. Okay? And you're being asked to trust that it's not a matter of if it is received, but when. Now, it says, once you have given your healing gift, then you've also given the outcome of your healing gift, because the healing outcome of your gift is a part of the gift. So when you give a gift of love, a gift of healing, you're already giving the outcome of the gift, which is that the person you're giving it to will accept it when they are ready, when they won't see that blessing that you're offering them, that gift, as a curse. They'll see it as a blessing. As soon as they do, they're going to accept that gift and they're going to be grateful. And but in the meanwhile, you've already been blessed. You know, your blessing, your reward for offering the gift of love need not wait on whether that person receives it or accepts it or not. The moment you gave that gift of love, that offering of healing, that moment you gained. You know, you gained in that. Now there's more treasures up in your storehouse that have been laid up for you. All right. The instant you gave it. That's why it's reminding us that it's impossible that you give a loving gift and somehow lose. Which is what the ego always tells us. If you be loving, then you're going to make yourself vulnerable and you might lose. If you give this person your heart, you know, you may be setting yourself up for, you know, horrible, horrible pain. That's what we tell ourselves. That's the lie, you know, but that's us not understanding what a real gift is. So it's impossible that you give a gift of love and you not gain. You know, impossible. And you'll see that when you release the gifts that you give, understanding that, you know, that it's not up to you to evaluate the outcome of the gifts or the timing of which they accept that. And when you realize the moment I gave it, the moment I gained, you're going to be experiencing that more and more and more. Now, it says, no one can give truly if they are concerned with the result of giving. That's what we've been saying. You can't give truly. You can't give a real gift while you are concerned with the result of your giving. Real giving, true giving, is giving where you are not concerned about how or when they use your gift of love. You're trusting that they'll accept it when they believe they deserve it, when they believe that they deserve it, you know, which might take a while. Okay? So no one can truly give if they are concerned with the result of their giving. When you are concerned with the result of your giving, that is a limitation on your giving. And neither the giver nor the receiver would have the gift. So you're setting it up where if you're concerned about the result of your giving to this person, then neither you nor they are going to receive that gift. They're not going to receive it and you're not going to receive it. If what and when you are concerned with the result of your giving. I'm going to give you this love, but I'm a little concerned about what you're going to do with it. I'm very concerned. Okay, well, basically now you're not going to give the gift. If you're concerned about giving the gift, then you can't give the gift of love that you wanted to give. Wow. I get what it's saying about having a resistance to these ideas. I can feel it in myself. It's like, you know, that resistance that we have to the truth that heals us of our dis-ease, and being experiencing that fear that our ego has, that that if I stop being concerned about the outcome of my gifts, that I will somehow lose. I can feel that old programming, that old belief system coming up as I read this. So, beautiful. Hi, Daniel. Lovely to see you. It's not, Sophia says, it's not true giving when I'm concerned about, it's not true giving when I'm concerned about how or when they will use my gift of love. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. And that is why trust is an essential part of giving. You want to actually give a real gift for real instead of just a baited hook. If you want to really give a gift for real, then trust is an essential part of your ability to give a real gift. Trust is the part that makes true giving, sharing possible. Trust is the part that guarantees that you, the giver, will not lose, but only gain. Not maybe sometimes, maybe not conditionally. No, you will only gain. Trust is what will enable you to give a gift truly, and trust will guarantee that you, the giver of that gift, will only gain because you gave that gift. Trust guarantees that that gift of love you gave, you can only gain from it. Because remember, we are afraid to give, for real give, because we think we could lose. If I really give you this gift of unconditional love, then you could hurt me bad, right? And so this is teaching us the truth about what real giving is, what real giving means, and how to do it. You know, how to actually do it, which is how you really actually receive that gift yourself. So, well, what should I trust? You said trust is the thing that is required for me to be able to truly give, and trust guarantees that I, the giver, can only gain because of my gift of love. Okay, well, trust in what? Well, let you be certain, let you trust that that your gift of healing to this person has been received by that person, and that it will be accepted. I lost my place. Okay, trust is an essential part of giving. In fact, trust is the part that makes the true giving possible. Trust is the part that guarantees the giver will not lose but only gain. Who gives a gift of love and healing to another and then stays with that person they gave the healing gift to be sure that that person used that gift as you, the giver, deem appropriate? Who does that? That's the question. Who does that? Who is it that gives a gift of love to somebody and then stays with that person and that gift to make sure that that person uses that gift of love as you deem appropriate? Okay, who does that? Oh, we do that. We do is the answer to that. Well, that is not giving. That's not real giving. That's imprisoning. That's what that is. Ooh, anybody out there been given some imprisoning in the name of giving? Yes, all the time. Whew, and but teachers of God, miracle workers, less and less. And the more that we learn how to really give a real gift, and the more we learn how to give it without taking it back, then the happier and more treasure-filled our life becomes. Okay, so don't forget about the treasure house. Do not forget about the treasure house, where treasures for you and for all you have given love to are being stored up for y'all. They're being held in trust for you guys, for when you both decide that you deserve them and that you welcome them. Don't forget about that. Now, so we don't want to be givers that are really imprisoners. Okay, we've been givers who were masquerading for imprisoners. And we don't want to be givers that are really imprisoners anymore. And so this is teaching us how to truly give and thus to truly gain from the gifts that we give, whether or not the person we offer them to appreciates them and uses them as we deem appropriate. We still get the gain. We still get the reward for having given the offer of healing, the offer of love. Wonderful. As a matter of fact, in paragraph 4, it says, as a matter of fact, it is the relinquishing of all concern about the gifts of love and healing that you give that makes your gifts truly given. I'm wanting to give all these, I want to give gifts of healing. It makes me happy to give love and healing to others. But it's only, and it says, but the only way that I can truly give and not imprison is to relinquish all of my concern about the gift. That's the only way I can truly give it and also get the gain, the treasure that comes automatically from that, whether they appreciate it or not. What is it that enables that? It is the relinquishing of all concern about the gift of love and healing that I have been offering. The relinquishment of all concern, not just some concern, the relinquishment of all concern about the gift of healing and love that I have been giving. Woo-wee! Okay, so I'm supposed to give it and then not be concerned about it. Not be like, did you really take to heart the things that I took an hour to share with you on the phone? Okay, that is being concerned about the gift that you gave. That's being concerned about the effect of your gift on them. Okay? That's being concerned about yourself to the exclusion of the one you gave that gift to. It's like limiting that gift that you're giving them, or it's like taking it back. So we don't want to do that. So it is the relinquishing of all concern about the gift you've given to that person that makes that gift to that person truly given. And it is trust that makes true giving possible. In other words, you got to trust that they will accept that gift of love when they are ready for it, and not a second sooner. And it's not up to you to decide when that happens. It doesn't matter, because the moment you gave that gift of love to them, you gained. You could only gain from that gift. And so that's what you're going to remember, so that you can trust. That's what it means to trust, and relinquish all concern about the effect of your gift on them. Thank you, Sophia. Sophia says, I feel the truth of this. This is so beautiful. Thank you, Sophia. And I know that you are a beautiful, magnificent giver of healing thoughts and love. I know you love to offer healing and loving thoughts to people. I know you love, because I know you. I know you love to be helpful to others and to offer ideas and thoughts to people that are healing, that are the essence of love. I feel healed all the time by the loving messages that you share, with the people on Facebook and elsewhere. So I know that as somebody who's offering gifts of healing and love to others, that you have experienced offering them to people who have been using their sickness as a way of life. And so they see your offering of healing as a curse and not a blessing. And I know that you have, like me and everybody else, felt disappointed sometimes. But you, like me and so many others, are learning how to relinquish all concern about the gifts we give. And you're doing great at it. I've been watching you. You're an amazing teacher at relinquishing all concern about the gifts that you give. I really appreciate that about you. You're my teacher in that regard, Sophia, so thank you. Don't stop. All right. So it says healing, why is it that we're not supposed to be concerned at all about the gift that we gave and its effect on that person? Why is it that we're not supposed to be concerned about the effect of that at all? Because the healing is the change of mind that the healing spirit in that person's mind is seeking for them. So the healing is not going to be coming from you. Healing is the change of mind that their higher self is seeking for in them. That is what healing is. So healing is not, oh, I healed them. No, healing is the change of mind that the healing spirit in their mind was wanting for them. That's how they are healed. It's not you who's doing it. Okay? Good to remember. It's not me who's healing people. It's not me who's healing people. It's the change of mind that the Holy Spirit in their mind is seeking for them. That is the healing for them. In other words, it is the Holy Spirit, the higher self in that person, that accepts the gift you gave for them. So it's the one who is receiving the gift I gave that person is not that person's ego. That person's ego is not the one accepting the gift I gave. It's their higher self that is accepting the loving gift that I gave them. Not their ego, not their personality, not the one you call by their name. It is their higher self in them that is seeking their healing for them, that accepts and receives the healing that you gave to that person. Oh, that's so good to know. And it is the Holy Spirit, the higher self in them that accepts that gift for them. And it is the higher self in the mind of the one who gave that gift, who gives that gift to them. So here's the truth about giving. Here's the low down skinny about healing. Okay. Healing is what their higher self receives for them from you, and healing is what your higher self is giving to that person. So the healing is like, it's coming from my higher self to their higher self. It's not coming from my personality to their personality, right? And only my personality, my self-concept needs the adulation, needs the appreciation. Nope. It didn't come from me, my personality, and the healing came from my higher self and went straight to their higher self, who accepted it for them and is holding it for them for when they would see that loving offering as a blessing and not a curse. Okay, well, this, it's like, it's absolutely reminding us of our place as teachers and healers. Remember, it's not you who's giving it. It's you who are receiving it from your higher self, and it's not them who's receiving it. It's their higher self who's receiving it and accepting it for them, holding it for them till they're ready for it. So just take yourself right on out of that equation. We call that the specialness equation. And that will enable you to give your gifts freely without concern about how this person is going to use those gifts. It will enable you to become a true and effective gift giver, which also means a more effective healer and teacher. Beautiful. Yes. I love it. I love it. Sophia says, thanks for the encouragement. We can trust. It's easier to trust than to try to control my gifts. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you too, Sophia. Thank you. And she also says, from higher self to higher self, glory to glory. Exactly. Exactly. You know, it's my specialness addiction is what is making me want to control the gifts I have given. You know, that's what is making me concerned about how this person uses them and do they appreciate them and on and on and on. It's my specialness addiction. And it's also what's limiting the power of my miracle working. It's limiting the power of my ability to work miracles. It's limiting my ability to offer healing to more and more often is my specialness. You know, like as if the gift of healing that I'm giving them came from me. Like, come on, you know, if I could heal them, I would have already healed myself. But it's obvious that I have not already healed myself completely. So obviously, if any healing is coming through me to them, it is not coming from my brain. It's coming from my higher self, who is really me, that I just don't remember. I've dissociated myself from it. So let me remember that. The other day I was in the bathtub and I heard, actually I was in the caves, and I heard, do not refer to yourself as a healer anymore. Refer to yourself as a healing influencer. And that really struck me because I saw that I was being reminded that I am not the source of other people's healing. I am the influencer. I am offering a thought. I am offering a healing thought of love to someone. And it's their choice whether they want to accept that for themselves. So I'm not the one who's doing the healing. I'm only offering the opportunity, the invitation to you know, do what they want to do or not. So the healing's not coming from me. That's why I don't need to be concerned about the effect of any time I have offered something for a healing purpose, because it is not coming from me, and it's not coming from me. So it's not for me to try to understand it or control it. But I do gain every time I give it. And I love that. I love that. I don't have to control the outcome, but I do gain every time I give, every time I offer healing to another, which is anytime I offer a loving thought or a release from guilt to somebody. Now, if the gift is coming from you, the giver's higher self, and it's being received by their receiver higher self, then how can your gift to them be lost? It can't. How can the gift you offer to them be ineffectual? It's coming from your higher self and going to their higher self. So how could your gift be ineffectual or lost? It can't. How can your gift be wasted if your gift was coming from your higher self and going straight to their higher self and you get an automatic gain? How could your gift of healing be lost? God's treasure house can never be empty. Good to know. Because if one gift of love that you had given were lost, ineffectual, unreceived at some time, if one gift that you gave of love could be lost, could be ineffectual, then God's storehouse, then your storehouse would not, God's storehouse would not be full. If there was one gift of love that was offered you that was lost because you weren't ready to receive it, if there was one gift of love that you offered to another that they never received, it was just lost because they weren't ready to accept it, then God's treasure house would not be full. But God's treasure house is always full. That's what it said. God's treasure house is always full. And what's in God's treasure house again? What's in God's treasure house? What's in God's treasure house is all the loving gifts that you gave and received that are being held up, stored up for you and for everyone. That's what's in God's storehouse, is every loving thought you ever gave being stored up for you, being stored up, and being stored up for the person who you offered it to, waiting for them to be ready to receive it. And they will. That's a given. That's not an if. You can't give a gift of love and it not be received where you gave it. It can't. Now, you don't know when it's going to be accepted, and when it's accepted by that person is up to them. It's not up to you, but it is a given. You can't give a gift of love to someone and it not be accepted by them when they are ready, no matter how long that takes. But what is time to gifts of love? Nothing. Gifts of love are eternal. Loving gifts are eternal because love is eternal. Yet, so the fullness of God's storehouse, which is always full, can never be empty, and that is guaranteed by God. That's a guarantee by God. Yeah, the storehouse of loving thoughts that you've given and received, that's being held for you, that storehouse can never be empty. That's guaranteed by God. So what concern can you, teacher of love, have about what becomes of your gifts? If all that is true that we just heard, how could you, teacher of love, be concerned about what becomes of your gifts? I just feel this massive weight. I just feel this massive weight come off of me relative to my function as a teacher and a healer. This is such a massive weight, and I see how I have been limiting my gifts. I see how I have so many gifts of love and healing to offer, gifts that I have received. They came from my higher self for sure. And I see that how I am limiting these gifts that I have that were given me to give, that is my joy to give. I see how I am limiting them by being concerned about what will become of my gifts, the outcome of my gifts, the effect of my gifts on others, and when they accept them for themselves. What a healing, what a miracle. And so now I'm seeing how practicing this takes the limits that I've been putting on myself as a healer and a teacher. You know, when you are concerned about the teaching that you and the healing that you are offering, you're limiting your teaching and your healing. And so I see how have a vision of what could happen when I allow those limitations on my teaching and my healing to be lifted and gone along with my concern. I love it. So I'm seeing right now that I want to be an unconcerned teacher and healer. I want to do what is given me to do, give the gifts that are given me to give, that where I'm giving love in whatever form I'm doing that. And don't be concerned. Don't be wondering, will people get this? Will people like this? Will people buy this? Do people want this? Give it without concern, trusting that every time you give a gift of love and healing, you are storing up a treasure for yourself that you can access at any time. In other words, every time you give your gifts of love and healing, however you give them, literally you can only gain. You are gaining, only gaining. And it says the gifts that you are giving to others, they were given you by God, and those gifts of healing that you're giving to others are given to God. What you're giving, they're gifts from God that you are giving to God in them. That's what they are. Given by God to God, who in this holy exchange can receive less than everything. Woo-wee. So the gifts I'm giving, remember, they're coming from God. What I also need to remember is that they're being given to God in them. And it don't matter how long they take to accept that gift and see it as a gift and not a curse, because everyone in this holy exchange is going to receive everything. Whew! Wow. Your gifts that you give to others, those were given you by God, and then you're giving them to God in them. And who in this holy exchange can receive less than everything? Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And so I dedicate this to all the teachers and healers and light workers and miracle workers and teachers of God and Course in Miracles teachers and helpers that you are. I dedicate this to you so that you can become a more effective and better teacher and healer to the people that the universe is sending you, so that you can give your gifts and receive them yourself, receive the rewards and the treasures that comes as a result from giving your gifts of love. There is a storehouse of treasures. There is a storehouse of loving thoughts that you have given that is stored up and kept safe for you. In other words, every time you give a gift of love to somebody, whether they appreciate it or not, for years, you are filling a storehouse of treasures for yourself and everybody else. All right, my teachers and healers, I'm going to just do a 2 or 3 minute, maybe 5 minute integration meditation. Because we started late, we've only gone now an hour and a half. So I'm just going to do a few minutes of an integration meditation. Excuse me. And I trust that if you've had your fill, then you turn it off and watch it later. Sophia says, to be less limiting of my gifts is a worthy desire. Amen to that. We're learning how to become more effective and gentle teachers and healers. And it doesn't matter what form your teaching and your healing comes in. Everybody has a different form in which they teach and heal. It's whatever way it's most easy for you to give loving thoughts. That's your gift. Okay? And so it's all about learning how to become a better and a more effective and more gentle teacher and healer, more effective. Learning that that you are giving only to yourself, and that every time you give, you're giving to yourself, and you can only gain. Becoming a better and better teacher and a healer such that you're able to give your gifts of love and healing without being concerned about how they use your gift and your healing, which is really imprisoning them. So let us close our eyes and take a few minutes to just be with these ideas. Let's just be with them and feel them, take them in, use them. Beautiful. So I want you to bring to your awareness a situation, a time when you were offering a healing, you were offering love to someone. You had a desire to help them, and you offered them your healing intention, and they did not appreciate it. They didn't recognize it as a gift and a blessing, and they either didn't recognize it, didn't appreciate it, or they actively perceived it as a curse and rejected what your healing offering. So I want you to bring a situation like that to your awareness. I offered love to that person, but they did not appreciate it. Where is it that you tell yourself that the love that you offered them was wasted? Where is it that you're telling yourself that you wasted years loving somebody? Beautiful. And then take a breath. Take a breath. And I want you to tell yourself that gift of love that I gave them came from my higher self. It came from God. It didn't even come from me. Me, all I wanted to do was give them grievances and guilt. That gift of love I gave to them, that obviously came from God. And it was the God in them that received that gift, not the part of them that wanted to be right. That gift of love I gave to them, that gift of love obviously came from God, not me, and it was received by the God in them. And the God in them is going to hold that gift of love that I gave them, that healing intent, and it's going to hold that for them in their mind until that person recognizes what you gave them as a gift, and it will be ready for them when they want to accept it. And time is not involved. We're telling ourselves the truth about the gifts of love and healing that we've offered that didn't seem to be appreciated and maybe even seem to have been resented. And in that situation or relationship where you thought maybe that because you gave a gift of love to them, you lost, I want you to tell yourself, the love I gave to them, the healing I offered them, gave me another treasure that's being stored up, stored up in God's treasure house, waiting for me. And tell yourself, the love and the healing I gave to them, I gave to myself. I gained immediately treasures real treasures, not fake treasures. I gained real treasures every time I offered love or healing to that person. Tell yourself the truth. All that I give was given to myself. And I want you to bring to your awareness a situation or relationship recently where you gave a gift of love to somebody, and then you became concerned about whether they got it or appreciated it or used it like you thought they should, and you were disappointed in this one that you had given a gift of love and healing to. To bring that situation and relationship to your awareness. And I want you to tell yourself, I'm grateful for the gift I gave them. I'm grateful for the gift I gave them. Because I gave a gift to them and to myself that they are guaranteed to receive whenever they're ready. And I gave a gift to myself that is being held for me for when I believe I deserve to receive it. And just breathe and notice how that feels to give a real gift. Beautiful. All right. Yeah. Good work, teachers of God. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You guys are amazing teachers and healers. I'm so blessed and so honored to be connected with you guys. And truly, thank you for being profound teachers and healers for me for so long. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you, Demi. Thank you, Demi. And hi, Patty. I love you guys. See you next time I see ya.